I'm an Italian chef that from Italy, I moved all the way to Texas to work for the very best barbecue restaurant in business, to master the craft of barbecue. Now, I'll teach barbecue worldwide. My name is Max, and this is Texicana BBQ. Turkey. The most popular cut of turkey is called this one. It's called the sweetheart. Why? Because it's a sweetheart. Aww, that's so romantic. Anyway, so the seasoning for the turkey very light with salt. Okay, salt and pepper still is like what I use. 80% of mashed 16 pepper, 20% of salt. Not too much salty. Yeah, the trimming of the turkey is very easy. I'm just gonna go through here, do this scrap, do this fat. Okay, a little bit of fat. This extra piece, it's not really an extra piece. I'll keep it. You know, makes the turkey nice and choppy. The meat. Over here, we have all the skin. We'll take it off. And they come, depend the brand, they come pretty clean. Salt and pepper, very light, starting from the bottom. I consider this the bottom, because also Texas style, a lot of care about the presentation. So, but as you can see, very light seasoning. And trust me, this turkey will be seasoned enough. Round two. But now, how are we gonna cook this turkey? So the turkey. Now the fiber of the turkey, they go this way. When we're gonna cut the turkey, we pretty much, what we're gonna do, we're gonna start cutting like this, and we finish up on an angle like that. Okay, so keep that in mind when you slice your turkey. It's like this way. Now a lot of people, they keep the turkey like this. Other people, they put in some kind of some sort of kind of net to hold them up, like this salami one. Some people, they tie them up. For me, like this is good enough. If you want a perfect round shape, you should tie them up a little bit, okay? But this for me is good enough. I try to keep everything I do. I try to keep things simple. And we'll position in our smoker. Turkey loves high temperature, okay? Turkey loves high temperature, so I'll cook it at 270, 280. It's good. The way we're gonna cook this turkey, we're gonna heat them up with a lot of heat, 270, 280. Okay, I would say if you keep it to 270 is good enough, until you're gonna get some color. And around an internal temperature or 135, you can almost push 140. 135, I would say, is ideal. So you got some color. What are we gonna do? We're gonna wrap in foil. We're gonna turn it around, so it's not gonna be so smooshy. It's gonna be nice and stiffy. We're gonna turn it around, put half pound of butter on top, close the foil, and we're gonna pull them up on a temperature of 155. 155, we'll take him out, and then he will carry over to a safety temperature. Most of the time, most people, if you cook this turkey at 165, 170, by the time you take it over, take it out, the carry over will be so great, and probably the turkey will gonna reach 180, and it's not gonna hold first of all, and then you're gonna lose all the juice and be dry. So little trick, pull them out at 155. Okay. Wanna brine your turkey the night before? The best brine out there, in my opinion, is from Elliot Moss. This is his book, and this is the brine. Okay, pork ribs. Pork ribs seasoning. Our friend Mesh 16. Kosher salt, paprika. The ratio that I use is 60, 40, and a couple of tablespoons of paprika. It has to look red enough, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. But before the seasoning, we're gonna trim it. Okay, trimming the pork ribs. This, what butcher call, this is they call it the barbecue ribs, okay? It's not completely the whole slab. You miss this bone over here. It's not a San Luis. The way I cook it, it's almost like a San Luis. It's like a barbecue ribs already trimmed, okay? So, and we go from here. This one, we're gonna trim it. We'll take it off. Here we go. Number one, I do not take off the membrane, but if there is some extra fat like this, it doesn't really melt, so I'll do take it away. I keep the membrane, and a lot of people ask me this, why you do that? I keep the membrane because the way I cook it, I cook between 260 and 270. At that temperature, the membrane, it kind of almost melt. If it doesn't melt, it's you don't even notice though. So it doesn't affect the taste, it's not chewy, you don't even feel like it. So I leave it. And also, if you do, like I do, 100 rack ribs a day, it's not fun to clean 100 ribs. Anyway, so now, what I do, I'll take this off. We do have to sacrifice some meat, but you know, the shape is very important. There are the sort of cartilage. To a certain extent, they kind of melt away, but this part of the rib is kind of chewy. Okay, so I'll trim it off. But this is pretty much the shape that I like about the ribs. Okay, maybe this one, this flippy floppy jaw, it's a little bit too flippy. I don't know. I built up word. Okay, so this is a little part of belly, which I'm gonna take it off. Okay, and this is the way I cook the ribs. Seasoning, a little bit of mustard. It's not for taste. Same thing can brisket, just to let the seasoning stick a little bit better. Very lightly. This is not a kind of meat thick as a brisket, of course, right? So we're gonna go very lightly. Always shake, shake, shake. See, this is moist. I don't need mustard. I don't put it. So we're gonna put these ribs in our beautiful JNR oiler. That's what I have available right now, is a rotisserie smoker. And we position our ribs like that. The ribs, they're gonna cook for on a temperature of between, in this smoker 260, in the offset you can push it to 70, okay? So then depends, you have to adjust. We gonna put these ribs for 2.5 hours in this position. At that point, we're gonna flip it, put it in foil, meat side down. We're gonna close, keep it for another hour. After that, we're gonna open the foil, re-flip it again, and heat them up with barbecue sauce, and let the barbecue sauce dry for about 20 minutes, and the ribs gonna be ready. Ooh. So these pork ribs, I don't like to put sugar anywhere. They're not particularly sugary. At the end, they're kind of shiny because at the end you're gonna put a little bit of glaze, which is a glaze is very simple. It's a simple syrup, 50% water, 50% sugar, and then it can become interesting because you can infuse with a lot of ingredients. I do jalapeno, roasted jalapeno, put in foil, deseeded, threw in a firebox. It can be mango, it can be whatever you want, okay? So you put in the simple sugar, you filter it, and he will taste, you know, a sugary taste of whatever ingredients you want to put. And the glaze is a good finishing, touch because sometimes when they stay in a warmer for too long, the ribs, they can lose shyness, okay? So one advantage of putting the barbecue sauce into the foil is that they're gonna be shiny at all time. One disadvantage of putting barbecue sauce outside of the foil is that the barbecue sauce, once it's dry, it's gonna stay shiny for a little bit, but then it will kind of get a little bit darker, okay? So in order to avoid that, and if people like the sweet kind of flavor profile, like many do, you can just glaze them right before you cut them, okay? So I found that there is a good trick, there is a good solution. But you know, ribs look good, and it's a simple method, easy to replicate. That's it. Let's try it out. For today, it's all. Next video, follow me. Still talking about barbecue. See you soon. Woo! I am Max, and this is Texicana BBQ.